back at again on starting your business and trying to get your business squared away. Things to focus on when you first starting a business. It's not tax write-offs. It's not. It's none of that. Your focus should be strictly finding customers. That's it. No matter what it is, your marketing team is you. You wearing all the hats. You wearing every single hat that you have. So I'm not saying like in my last video I said hire people hire people to do the things that maybe you're not good at or whatever the case. Well, at first you might not have that money, so you might have to learn some new skills. How to finance, how to do accounting, bookkeeping, things like that. So you're not worried about tax write-offs, and you just making sure you keep everything in order. Your bookkeeping, keep that up. You're not worried about, oh man, if I get a $90,000 vehicle or whatever forget all that, man. Focus on profit, trying to get some money in your business, link up with other people, as much as possible. But don't just link up with people because they can keep you busy. Link up with people that you can make a profit off of, and they can make a profit off of you, and y'all can win together, not just one-sided. You know what I'm saying? So don't just I'm trying to be busy. No, we don't want to just be busy. Busy is good, but if it's making a profit, it's good. Because any other way, you're stealing from your family, you're stealing from your friends, you're stealing from your people. Because what's happening is now you're busy and not even making a profit. So the goal should be, people always say, oh, I just want to make enough money. Well, like in the words of Myron Golden, do you just want enough health? Do you just want enough time? No, you want as much as you can get, period. Like, we got to stop that whole, oh, I just want enough to be comfortable. No, if you want just enough to be comfortable, go get a job. Go work for a 9 to 5 and just go do that. It's okay. Ain't nobody bagging you on that. It's just entrepreneurship isn't for everybody, and it's okay. There's a lot of people that went out, tried it, it didn't work, and now they're back at 9 to 5, which is fine. Ain't nothing wrong with it. I've done it. And we'll all do it at some point, maybe. And some people have never had a 9 to 5. They just continue to keep going and keep going and keep going. But the thing is, if they keep going and they're not making a profit, then they're out there for no reason. At that point, you just go work back at your job, bro. Sis, just go do that. Don't even waste your time. Stop wasting your time. But we talked, so far the videos we had so far was starting the business, getting your first customer, trying to get your first customer. This one is what you need to focus on when you're first starting off. Like if you get let's say you're lawn mowing, getting a van is kind of important, getting a truck is kind of important. But let's say you got a Honda Civic, you got to start with what you got. You know what I'm saying? And people respect that. People will respect that because they're looking at, man, they're trying something new. They're trying something that maybe I ain't never tried, or maybe, man, they see a young hustler and they love it. People love to spend their money with people that's trying. You know what I'm saying? They love to spend their money with people that's trying, because now whenever that vision becomes bigger than you, they were part of that vision. And people like being part of stuff. They really do, whether good or bad. So when it all boils down, just try your hardest, focus on the things you need to focus on. If it's not bringing revenue and profit into the business, then it's probably trash work. It's probably head trash. Get yourself organized as much as possible. Get yourself organized, and keep organized. Not just get in organized one time and then you got to keep organization. Keep it going. Take the time Take the time to put your tools back where you had them. Take the time to make sure your work truck is clean, or your van, or whatever, your workstation is clean. And the thing is, if you're not charging the customer for that, then that's something you need to put in there. Maybe that extra hour that you didn't account for on this job, maybe account for that on the next job, and you got to account for that kind of stuff. And as you stay organized and you keep organized, and even with your bookkeeping, it becomes quicker. Now you have less head trash. Alex Hormozy says it best, man, about that head trash. That head trash is real, bro. It is real. Because what happens is now you're getting frustrated, overwhelmed, all that other stuff. And it's really not because you're not trying, it's because you're not organized. You're not put together. You don't have a schedule put out there. And really, some of this stuff, a lot of this stuff, man, is because I'm saying it because I've learned the hard way, So it's taken a lot for me to get to this point where I'm at. And I'm still, every day is a struggle. Business is not for everybody. It's hard. You got to get down to the nitty gritty. There'll always be people that'll push you their way and want you to go their way, but you got to go your own way. You got to figure out your own plan, your own, and figure out what you want. Write down your goals. Write down your struggles and all that. So just keep out there and keep pushing. Ownership is a good way to become millionaires. Freedom, you want freedom. I mean, the only real freedom though is when you have employees and you have people that you can trust to run the business when you're gone. And not just gone like off of this earth. I'm talking about on vacation or a weekend trip with your wife or with your kids or whatever. So just keep up the good work, man, and just continue doing what you're doing. Yeah. And just know that people are watching you. So just set the best example you can. All right, then. Peace.